So the first thing I did was I made an outline of the gun. Then I printed out. Now there's a link in the description to my Divine Art where you guys can get the outline if you guys want it. So I printed out 2 of them, and one of them already cut it out by using some scissors, something like that. So I got 2 of them. This one is just a paper, the outline in the paper, and this one is the one I cut it out. Now one of the things that you notice is that right here there's these lines that I made. Now I made these lines right here after, like, and right here in the front where they're about to curve. Right here in the edges, I just made this line all the way to over here, and I also did the same thing from here all the way over here, and right here I just finished it. Now the reason why I did that is because, well, I'll show you guys that in later on. I will explain you guys why, but I did those lines, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out from the bottom here and also from the top of this line. So those are the lines that I made, and it's like that. So now I cut out the piece that I was gonna cut out. Now right now it looks really weird whatsoever, but the reason why I cut this is because I'm gonna put a thick layer of foam on top of this, so it's gonna add a little bit more thickness to it. So this is what I cut out, and this is the picture. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm going to trace it into this piece of foam board, you know, a poster board, a foam board, or I don't know what you guys call this, you know. I'm gonna cut out 4 pieces of it. Now I am thinking about cutting out this piece right here. I don't know if I'm gonna cut that or not. I will tell you right after I don't know what I'm feeling, to be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna cut it or not. So I'll cut out the piece that was like right here. So it's supposed to be this piece, and I cut it out. And this is how the paper looks like, and this is how this thing looks like. So now I already traced it onto this poster board, cut it out. I cut out the 4 pieces that I have here. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 pieces. So now I'm gonna do is put them all together, and I'm gonna glue them with a glue gun. So I just got done gluing them all together. As you can see, these are 4 of them, like this, and I sanded the edges down and everything like that. I didn't sand so much this edge because I am gonna cover it up. So there's that, and I sanded out a little bit of these edges right here to give like a nice grip. You guys, let you know, this looks kind of weird right now, but this is the inside of it, so it's fine. I am gonna add the other pieces in there and stuff like that, so there's that. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna cut out a piece of this thin black piece of foam that I got at Michael's for like $1, and I'm gonna see if I can like use a heat gun to heat it up and kind of like glue it inside here. You know, grab a small little piece and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do this side because this side is gonna be a different color. So I just got done doing this part. What I did is that I cut a piece of thin foam, which I just said earlier, and I used a heat gun to heat it up to make it flexible, and then I used the glue gun and I glued this part right here, stick that in there, and then after that, once that thing got glued, I actually put a little bit glued on this side, and then I also, with my hands, I actually like push it downward and stretch it out, and also from on this side I also put my finger here to stretch it out and wait until probably like 30 seconds or something like that till it gets dry, or close to a minute, because you really want it to get dry. And then I did the same to the other side, so it could be really stretched out and I could really be right there, so I could get this part. Of course it looks a little bit rough, but this is the part that's going to be exposed. The other part is going to be like some other white stuff right here. So there's that. So here's the thing, I was going to do the design that goes right here, the little white design thing, but it turns out I'm not going to be able to do it because I was going to use this foam, which is a much more thicker foam, but once I put it inside here, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more of the bulky side, and I don't want that. So what I have to do is go buy some more of this type of foam, but on white, which I need to go to the store and buy some. So I will do that. I will go to sort later, so that's gonna be something like when I'm put everything together. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this top part right here. So what I'm gonna use is that I have another foam like this that is black, that is thick, and I'm just gonna get a piece of paper, kind of like go all the way around it, you know, sketch out to see how long do I need to do it and stuff like that. So I just cut out this piece of foam, thick foam black, and what this thing is going to be, it's going to be under here and it's going to wrap itself around. So the thing that I got my thick piece of black foam cut out, and what this thing is going to be is going to be right here, and it's going to wrap itself around. And the way that I got that measurement is that I measured this thing like this, the long length from this right here, like that, did that. And then the way I was able to do the whole thing is that I grabbed a piece of paper and I just wrapped it around here, and that's how I was able to like kind of determine like how this, and I made it a little slightly bigger because what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna heat it up, and I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna create this oval shape. Now I will glue it on the top, which you will see it, but that's fine because I'm gonna put the top piece on top, and that you're not gonna see it. So this is how it came out. It looks really rough on top, which is okay because we are gonna cover it up with something else, another piece that's gonna be on top, so don't worry about that. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this piece of paper right here, I'm gonna cut out this design, I'm gonna go ahead and trace it into a piece of paper, then I'm gonna horizontal that design into the other side, so I can basically get it, and I can see if I can make like one simple strip to go around here, so I can kind of look at that. Is this, if you guys are seeing that, this design, and the way that I did that is that I cut out the piece of like this, as you can see that, the piece like this that was in the paper, the gun outline, and then what I did is that I traced this into a piece of paper, and in that piece of paper, as you can see, I just did this right here, so like a square thing, and then after that I got the gun from here, you know, all the way like this, and kind of traced it, this one in the back up here. Then once I got that, I was like, okay, I'm happy, these are the lines that I have. So now I'm gonna get this thin piece of foam, got this, put it right here, cut it out, and by the way, this one, I actually made it a little bit more longer than this paper was because for some reason I made it shorter, so I make sure that I added a little bit more on top, so this is longer, and that's how I ended up doing that. And I cut this one with a what's it called, an X-Acto knife. So there's that. And the side right here, you guys see, it kind of looks like an oval right here, but then it goes to a point. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna trace this design on a piece of paper so I can see what exactly I have, and then I'm gonna sketch out like a more oval shape. I'm gonna cut out that, put it to a thick piece of foam that is black, and that I'm gonna glue it inside here, and then I'm gonna cut another strip from this one right here, kind of a strip that will go all the way up here, that will hide that seam, and it will look good on top of it, and just kind of like glue it so it can look see that? Yeah, that's my first problem. This is how it came out. I'm not 100% happy about how it came out. It looks a little, I don't know, like this side looks great, but then this side kind of doesn't, and also when I grab it, it feels very bulky and stuff like that, so that is a problem. I took everything out. The thing that I didn't really like how the way it came out, but I did found a solution of how to fix this. So this is what I did. I got this piece right here, which is the piece that was on the on the outline, you know, that's supposed to go like right about here, right? took that and I traced it into a piece of paper that's like this. Okay, I traced this inside here, right? And then I traced another one inside here. So now when I traced that, I'm able to check so I could be able to go like this and kind of curve this side like this and make sure that it fits. Once I found out that that thing fitted, I traced it into this thin foam that I have here, and I came up with this. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna go ahead and sort of glue it inside here and curve this, glue inside there. I'm only gonna do one because when I did the other one, I actually did 2 layers and it didn't look that great. So this is how it ended up looking. I think it looks really cool. Looks really nicely done. One of the problems that happened, is that this one came out bigger than this one. Is because I didn't glue it the right way. So that's a problem. Hope you guys don't do that. Now what I did is that I got a piece of paper and I drew this. What I did is that I just got this, put it in a piece of paper, sketch it out, free sketch it, and I did this. This part right here, I actually got it to see if it will fit right here on the bottom. This sort of curved thing. And then I traced this into a thick piece of foam. So now I have it right here, thick piece of foam. And what this thing is the bottom part of this part. Now one of the things that's gonna happen is that you will be able to see this line, which sucks, but I might have to like leave it there. I would recommend cutting out, like before doing this, I recommend cutting out like a little bit so this could easily go inside here, like leave flush. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this, and then I might use like a heat gun or something like that to heat up this part so I can like kind of curve it like that. Okay, so this is what I did. I actually cut it out, a strip this, so this is kind of like, it bends like this. So this is how the gun ended up looking, like this. This is the wiring that I added so it can look like wires. I cut these ones out with some wire cutters. They're like, or you can use scissors, I guess. They're not that strong, whatever. So now it's time to put this bottom piece, which is this bottom piece right here from the outline, this piece. So what I'm going to be using is that I was going to use this right here, and this is just a cardboard tubing. I was going to use this because it was very light and stuff like that, but it ended up being too big, so I decided, and by the way, I got this from a poster that I ordered. It came inside, so that was cool. So now what I'm going to use is this PVC pipe, and I'm going to get this and put it right here. Now the thing about it is that I'm not going to spray paint this, but this will be like a metallic color. So what I'm going to be covering that up with is this right here. I don't know if you can see that. It has like this cool little grid and stuff like that. This is actually a paper that I got at Michael's for like 60 cents, and it was very great. So I'm gonna cut this part out. So I cut out the little piece of paper, so what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna glue it up here and kind of like curl this thing around just like that. I got this thing already done. It looks really cool, even metallic, even has a little texture in it. So I just got done with this. It looks really cool. You guys can see that. That's how it looks like, and this is how it looks like on the back. It looks kind of like, it doesn't look that great right here, but like I said, we will be gluing this on top, so you're not going to be able to see this. And the way that I did this is basically I cut out pieces of this thin foam, and I cut it out to pieces that I could, and then I used a Elmer's Extreme. I glued them into the paper that I cut out, which is this type of paper, that I showed earlier. I don't have it with me right now, so there's that. And then after that, I glued them there, then I cut them out, then I glued them exactly the way that I glued this part, and that's how I came up with this part. And here's the thing, this one right here, it's a medium strip that goes all the way around. This is a much bigger one, a skinnier piece, and another skinny, and then another one exact same size as this. So this will be glued inside here, which I don't know if it's gonna be able to be glued. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take this, put it inside here, glue these two these two pieces right here, and then glue this part onto this. So this is how it looks like. You guys can see that. Now I did come with a small little bit of a problem, and that problem is this part right here. It's a problem that I figured out a way to solve it, but it's a problem that if you would have made this, make sure you solve it before you glue this thing in here or you do anything of these things. What I recommend is that don't get like a PVC pipe or something right here to go all the way on this side. Make sure you cut it from right here, because I'm gonna put that one thing that goes, the white piece that goes right here, but I need to cover this. And also the trigger is not gonna be able to function and all that stuff. So to me, I'm not gonna add a, I might not add a trigger to it. So there's that. Well, I might be able to cut it, but if I cut it, it's gonna detach from this. So I am gonna figure out a way to see if I can cut it so I can add the trigger. And I ended up cutting this part out. It was like a pain in the ass. It took me a while, and I cut it out with this, which is a small little saw blade, whatever. I went like this. It's a pain in the ass, so there's that. So now what I did is that I cut out this piece right here, which this piece is actually the piece that's gonna go right here. See that? So then this piece, I traced it into a piece of paper, which is this type of paper, which is a, it's one of those like copying papers, not stock paper, just copy paper, and it's right here. Traced right here, and on this one, I actually traced it into this thick piece of foam, just a little more thicker, and I ended up getting this. So I cut out two of these. There's that. And now when I did it, they're opposite. So when I glued them, they're gonna be like this. So you're not gonna see this little outline thing. There's that. And then I got this piece of paper back, and I did this. If you guys are wondering, this I traced it right here. And then this part right here, which is the line part, is actually the measurements from this part, which is like that. And on the other side is actually the exact same one, but on the outside. The opposite side, I mean. And then after that, I got this and I traced it into this thin piece of foam that is white. And I got this, which right here, I also drew these things that I'm gonna cut out. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna glue. So now this part's supposed to be glued into this thing, and it's gonna be glued like that, like upward. See that? So then this side, you're not gonna see anything. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna cut out these areas, these little squares, get this, and I'm gonna glue it into here, and then get this other one and glue it on the other side, put glue on this side, and so this is how it looks like, all glued up. Cut out these sides with some scissors. You can use an X-Acto knife, that'll be a lot better because you get more precise. Now here's the thing, I am gonna glue this onto this thing, but the thing about it is that if you try to glue it the way that it is, it'll probably look like this. And we don't want that. The reason why we don't want that, because this part right here, it looks really, really straight. And we don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up this part right here, this part, so it can have like that little curve that we're looking for, and I'm gonna glue that part. And once that part is glued in, it's 100% dried, cooled down, I'm gonna glue the other part of this, the other part which is gonna be the sides. Okay, so I just got done gluing this, heating it up and everything like that, and this is how it looks like. This is how the back looks like. It kind of looks kind of cool. Kind of looks like, I don't know, I think it looks cool like this. What we're gonna do is now I'm gonna put glue on one side of this, fold it, and then put it like on the table or something flat so it can really get dried. So I just got done gluing in this side of it. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks great. Right here it has this curve, smaller curve thing. Isn't glued. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So I just got done gluing everything together, and it looks like this. It's slowly coming up. It's slowly getting everything together. It looks really good. As you guys can see, this. So I cut out this piece. If you guys don't know what this piece is, it's basically the top piece from the outline. And what I did is that I ended up making this. You guys, you guys want to know how I made that, I grabbed this, which was the piece from top, and I ended up tracing it right here. Okay, then I grabbed a piece of paper like this, then I measure to see this part right here, and all the way this part, sort of like that, to kind of see how long will it be. And then after that, I got this, and then I put it right about there, probably like right about there, and that basically determined how long will it be. And then I grabbed the paper that I already traced right here. I traced on this side, I cut it out. Now this part right here, I actually free drew that, so I did like a curve thing, and I kind of like got this and I put it like right here to see how this will end up looking like. There's that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace this into this piece of thick foam. Get this, trace it right about there, cut this part out, and yeah. So I used the heat gun, and it looks like this. It kind of makes this curve thing, which this is going to be on here, on top of here like that. But make sure that it's basically in the same angle as both of them, so it can look really, really good. Also, I am gonna glue this with the glue gun. Also, right here, it didn't came out so like great. It's not really like great, but it's okay because I'm gonna add like a strip, like a gold strip right here. That's gonna make it look better. I'll be working on this part right here. If you guys can see, it has like a small little shape to it when I cut out the post board. So what I'm gonna use here is that I'm actually gonna make it out of poster board. It really doesn't matter because I am gonna cover it up with something else. I got this medium sized piece, if you guys can see that, this size, and then I got this one right here, which is a much medium size, and then I got this larger piece. And how these are going to work out is that I'll get this one, and then I'll pull this one first, just like that, on top. Then I'll get this one right here, which is the more skinnier, and that's going to be below that one. And then there's going to be this longer piece, and this one's going to be right here. So if I can get these like this lined up, you can probably see that it's covering it up. Yeah, just like that. And these lines are like the lines for basically to cut them out. Okay, now I also added a circle right here, and the way I did that, got something circular, traced it right there, then cut out these edges because it was really big. I got the this paper, and then I traced it onto like this texture paper right here, which is the same thing. I did this part and I came up with this, except for make sure you make it a little bit longer, because when these pieces, when they tend to like go like this at an angle or something like that, there is a little bit more. So we're gonna cover up with this. So this is how it ended up looking. It looks like this. It's not completely dried, but once it gets dried, I will glue this on here, just like that. So this is how it looks like, if you guys want to know. Want to see? The thing about it is that I did win with some problems. I actually ended up cutting this part shorter. If you guys can see that, it's because I kind of messed up a little bit. You can paint this part right here if you guys want to, but you're not going to see it when we put the other piece in there. So there's that. I'm gonna give you guys an example to see exactly how we're gonna do this. This is not the one that I'm gonna be using. I am gonna explain you guys more, but I just want to show you this because I think it's really cool. So I'm gonna show you guys this. This is what we're going to be using. What exactly we're gonna do, we're gonna make this pattern right here, and then we're gonna make this smaller one, and then we're gonna make this one. And I will use a heat gun to heat up this. You don't need to use a heat gun, but if you use a heat gun, it will basically, once you fold it like this, it will like stay like that. So much more easier to glue in and stuff like that. So there's that. And basically what this is going to be right about here. If you guys can see that. You guys some pieces of examples. What I mean when it comes to all of these things is that, here's the thing, the top piece right here, you know, looking at this angle, the way that it's supposed to look like, it's supposed to look like this. If you guys can see it, like a line and then a mountain and then a curve, an arch or something like that. That's the way it is. And then the thing that's supposed to look like on the side of it, it's supposed to look like this. So this right here is the curved thing. This one is just the mountain going like down or something like that. And then this one is the other side or something like that. Here's the thing. The first thing I did is kind of like cut this piece out. If you a piece that looks like this. The way that you will do that is you measure exactly how like your curve is going to be. Like that. And then after that, you get this, which is another small little rectangular piece. You put it inside here, like right here. See, I kind of slanted a little bit because of that cut. Then you get your scissors and you kind of like cut that piece out. And then you get something that looks like this. So now what you want to do is get this piece, right? And then you want to get your scissors and kind of like slant it a little bit and kind of like cut that piece out. And make sure that it does this. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's this right here. This right here is cut out like this one. How it looks like that, because I used the scissors and I cut it out like this, if that makes any sense. So yeah, after you got done doing that, which mine, as you guys can see, is kind of curved because it looks like that, gluing these two, then what you want to do is cut up a shape that looks like this. Okay, so this one I glued it in. It looks really nice. So now what I want to do is I want to cut out this piece right here and kind of like, because as you guys can see, this kind of sticks out a little bit. Get my scissors. So this is how mine came out looking, if you guys can see that. Now here's the thing, mine came out looking a little bit rough, but there is solutions to this. To me, I put a whole bunch of coats in it so it can put one coat, wait till it gets dry, put another coat, just so it can have like this nice little finish. So this is gonna be like insert right here. Okay guys, so this is how it ended up looking. I glued it from this those small little things right here, and on this part right here on the side, and this is how it looks like. And for this part, for the switch, you will need something like a tube or something like that. I'm gonna be using this, which is a big straw. Get it and then cut it out, make sure it's in length. Now you can use anything, you can use a stick, you can use anything as long as it looks kind of like this, kind of cylinder, stuff like that. I'm just gonna use this because this is all I have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it to size, then I'm gonna get this metallic paper and I'm gonna glue it around Okay, so I was editing the video and stuff like that. I noticed that the video is actually really long, so I decided to, you know what, I'm just gonna talk, because the way that I filmed this and the way everything like that, I did differently. Of course, I thought, of course, I could have done it any other way so it won't be this long, but I didn't. So there's that. So what I'm about to talk to you guys is the rest of the stuff that I basically made. Now here's the gun. It looks like this. It's almost like 100% complete and stuff like that. But I do came up with some problems, stuff like that. So the first thing is that first of all, I'm gonna talk about this, and then I'm gonna talk about the rest. So this part right here, I actually put a made it out of a poster board, but you can always use a thick layer of foam. Poster board is gonna be much more like a straight path, and you know, a thick foam piece, you know, like the same I did this. You can always use it, but it's gonna be more curved, stuff like that. So there's that. So the first thing I did is I cut out this, and which is, as you guys to see the outline, like this, not the other outline is actually bigger. This just to demonstrate it. So it's this part, and after that I cut out a circle. So I'm gonna talk how I made this part. Okay, so that part I use this right here is a piece of I cut out like a circle from a piece of poster board, as you can see that, whatever. So I cut out that, and then the sides I kind of like sand it down so it can look like it's half of a mountain or something like that, kind of like a cone, but like whatever, you know what I mean. And then after that, there's this side right here. With this side, it's just a small, actually it's not a smaller strip, whatever, it's just, you know what, screw this part. What I did is that right here at the bottom of that little thing, I actually painted it gold, like a big circle of gold. And then I got this top part, which I also cut out, which it was this circle part right here, which is a thin piece of white foam. And then I cut out this piece that looks like this, which if you guys see right here, right there, you kind of see that smaller piece to reveal the little gold thing that I just painted. And then the top one is just another thin piece of foam that it was black. So that's how I ended up with this thing. Okay. Now the other thing that also happened is that this part right here, I had to take it off, just because this one I had to lower it down so it could create a little bit of this gap. Also, that's why I had to take it off, so make it lower and stuff like that. And yeah, so so there's those things. And then what I did is that I got this thing, I glued this part onto this, then I got this, and then I glue it onto like right here. I glued this just like that. I know it doesn't look that great, but I will cover this thing up with something, and it looks like that. So I glued this to this, and then this I actually glued it to this. So there's that. So yeah, so that's how this gun looks like. That's the rest of what I did. This part didn't finish it. Also, with this part right here, you can always use a different type of tubing. This one came in hollow, so I'm like, whatever. So when it came to this button, one of the things that you can do is that you can actually buy an orange button and just glue it in there. Or if you actually want the button to work, to like press on it, and then you're able to like put a light or something like that, you could do that, which it will make it much more realistic, so that's great. So basically to this one, what I did is that I just grabbed a little thick piece of foam, which is like the thick one, and I cut out into like a square, and then I sand out the edges so it could be like a little curve and stuff like that. And then once I got done, I actually on this side I just put a piece of like glue or something like that, a smaller piece of glue to create like this U shape, and then I painted it orange, and on this part I just painted it silver. So there's that. So that's how the gun came out. I'm sorry for this dumb, you know, rushed sort of ending for it. Also, if you guys see the video, you guys see that I put these wires right here. These wires are not in the are not in the actual gun, but I decided to do it because I thought it was gonna look pretty cool. I don't recommend doing it just because you're not gonna see it. It doesn't show. So there's that. Also, one thing that I would like to say is that this thing right here, this piece is actually a little bit more flimsier than I thought. So there's that. And also I was thinking about how I was gonna fill up this, so I'm still figuring that thing out. So yeah, and all that stuff. Also, I will put everything I use for this build link in the description. I'll put like the websites, like no, I'll put the name of it, and then I'll put a website so you can click on it and you can get more idea of how it's gonna look like. And yeah, so there's that. And this is something that I just made. Yeah, I didn't have to paint it, which is great. But if you want, you can still paint it to add some wear, to add some more stuff. The one thing that I look at, when you look at it, kind of does look a little bit like it's foam, but on that, I think this came out pretty cool. So yeah, so there's that. Hopefully you guys like this video. Sorry for being so long, but you know, I'm still learning, making videos. So I think this came out pretty cool. So yeah, so that's how this thing looks, you know. So there's that. Yeah, so this is how this details. It's not 100% perfect, but it's fine. Looks like this, even though I haven't finished this. But if you guys saw in the video, I actually did put it in there, but I had to take it off and made another one, so you know, I don't have to explain to you guys how I do this part, because I already did a video. So make sure you guys watch this video first. If you're planning on doing this, make sure you do that. So there's that. And then after that, just think about how to make it, and then you can just make it, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on making it, which I don't know, because these things cost me a lot of stuff. Like, probably the only thing that's probably going to be hard to get from this entire thing is the PVC pipe, but you can find one, or you can use anything that will resemble that. Hope you guys have enough for today. See you guys later, and bye.